great Sunday night matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Baltimore Ravens. Strap in, this will be a good one. 2 one-loss teams getting together as they're underway on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Play action. It's Jackson. This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A gain there of 30 big ones.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down. The Ravens at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Dobbins. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Edwards going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know what's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their 25-yard line.
Now ETN to start the drive.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
From the gun, it's Lawrence. And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted.
Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And I think they are going to get this one back. Boy, that would have been something. Double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT.
Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Hey, middle. Hey.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
They'll go again with Dobbins.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And that is incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and they're able to double their lead in this 1st half. It's 6-0. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Here we go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They find themselves down here after an interception on their opening drive led to a field goal. But all in all, you'd have to say fortunate to be only down 6.
Yeah, and you know how teams huddle on the sideline before they come out on the field in between series? Guaranteed what's said there is, guess what, guys? We take this ball, move it downfield, put it in the end zone, we're right back to even.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Here's Lawrence.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Lawrence. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he will have a Jaguars first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, it's Lawrence. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 37. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Tackle there by Michael Pierce.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the Ravens are going to get it back here just past the 35.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their 2 drives thus far both led to points, albeit both field goals, so the lead just 6-0, but the ability to move the ball is evident.
Well, that's, heartening, as they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting 6s on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You've got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed.
That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
That was awfully nice. Hit him in stride, and off he went. It was almost like the ball hitting him It's like him receiving a baton, and he was running the anchor leg in a relay race.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. Touchdown! Isaiah Likely, his third touchdown now on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Jackson here is going to look to throw. Complete at the 1. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
Now a throw here to his running back. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Lawrence on third down. And able to find Kirk complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Lawrence finding Kirk there for the Jaguar first. A shotgun snap and a give to ETN. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Lawrence finds his tight end Ingram. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now Lawrence. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 38-yard line.
A gain of 26 yards. And the Jaguars.
Now Lawrence to throw. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Throwing again on 2nd down. Lawrence. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. Finding room at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. Now Jackson on first down. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Tucker's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
Lawrence's throw taken in by Ridley here. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll run with ETN. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. 9 yards that time.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. And this is thrown to the sideline. No receiver in the area, though, and that's going to bring out a flag. We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly second and long. Looking to throw, Lawrence. A short throw to Ingram. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end, Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Odafe Oweh showed off the pass rush skills. Here's Logan Cook now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
There's the stiff arm, and he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Jackson to Bateman there, 1st down Ravens.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Dobbins running out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They go play action now. Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Jackson to Andrews on that one. 1st down, Baltimore. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he stopped immediately there. Dante Fowler in on the stop. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And the Jags are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Lawrence to throw. Screen play. Here's Etienne. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Lawrence. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Patrick Queen. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback,
It has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 2nd and 11 now. Lawrence. A short throw to Ingram.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Lawrence will throw. He'll air this one out for Kirk.
And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
They'll try and run it here. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go. And the try for 2 is denied.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
A slant route caught by Bateman.
And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Agnew now to return. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter.
Looking sideline, and he's going to have his man as he was able to walk the tightrope there for the completion.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll get this out to the flat for ETN.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Here's Lawrence. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
And to throw again is Lawrence. Man open, here is Jones. Touchdown, Jaguars. Zay Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to cut into that deficit. So this back now to a 10-point spread, and you have to imagine they'll line up and go for 2.
Oh, no question about it. If they can get this to an 8-point game, they can make things awfully interesting here in these last few minutes.
So here we go now as the Jaguars will go for 2.
Lawrence going to look to throw for it.
And they will get back to within 1 score as he is into the end zone, and the lead's cut to 8 here in the 4th.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here. I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A give up the middle to Dobbins.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Jackson.
Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete.
And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Back to throw, Lawrence.
And he wisely will throw that one away. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Here's Lawrence.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
Throwing now, Lawrence. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Roquan Smith.
And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Little bit of a backbreaker right there. You're down close, one-score game, trying to push the ball down the field and score, and you throw a pick six.
And sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble when you're making your throws, right? Sometimes you press it a little bit more than maybe you wanted to because you want that score so badly. In this case, it cost them.
Fields it right around the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Lawrence.
And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And this is not going to be what they needed. They get a few here, but now 3rd down as the clock runs. Now Lawrence.
And that will be incomplete with the clock down now to 13 seconds.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know,
and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway.